State Weather Bureau is placing more areas under Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal Number 2 as Tropical Storm Paolo intensifies further over the Philippine Sea. In its 5 p.m. bulletin on Thursday, October 2, Pag-asa says the location of Paolo's center was estimated 480 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. Paolo now packs maximum sustained winds of 85 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 105 kilometers per hour. Signal number 2 is raised over 7 areas in northern Luzon, where gale force winds may pose a minor to moderate threat to life and property. Meanwhile, 20 other Luzon areas are under signal number 1, where minimal to minor impacts are expected due to strong winds. According to Pag-asa, Paolo will move generally west-northwestward. Paolo is forecast to intensify while over the Philippine Sea and may reach severe tropical storm category Thursday evening or Friday early morning, October 3. Pag-asa says further intensification into a typhoon before landfall is not ruled out. The cyclone may make landfall over southern Isabela or northern Aurora on Friday morning. After crossing the landmass of northern Luzon, Paolo is seen to emerge over the West Philippine Sea Friday afternoon. It will continue moving west-northwestward until it exits the Philippine area of responsibility by Saturday morning, October 4. Authorities end their search and rescue operations in northern Cebu after confirming that no residents remain missing following the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that struck Bogo City and nearby towns on September 30. Office of Civil Defense spokesperson Juni Castillo says on Thursday, October 2, that local governments reported no unaccounted residents during a morning briefing at the incident command post. PNP Public Information Office Chief Brigadier General Randolph Toaños says search and retrieval operations were officially terminated on Wednesday night, October 1, after authorities accounted for all missing persons. He adds that deployed officers' concentration is now on relief and rehabilitation operations. The OCD says the official death toll has risen to 72, up from 69 the previous night. At least 30 of the fatalities were in Bogo City, the hardest hit area. Castillo says aftershocks remain a major concern, preventing many residents from returning indoors even if their homes are found to be structurally safe. PVOX earlier said aftershocks could persist for days and weeks. Instead of staying in evacuation centers, thousands have sought refuge in open areas away from falling debris. The OCD reports 4,000 families or about 20,000 people remain displaced as of Thursday morning. Castillo says that road clearing efforts have made most major routes in northern Cebu passable, although some local roads and damaged structures will take more time to clear. Government agencies, including the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Department of Public Works and Highways, are coordinating with local governments for continued relief distribution and shelter support. Some residents in northern Cebu sleep inside plastic bags to protect themselves from the rain due to the lack of camping tents and proper evacuation centers in the area following the strong quake. A magnitude 6.9 earthquake jolted Cebu on Tuesday, September 30, with the epicenter located 19 kilometers northeast of Bogo City. Following the tremor, authorities advised residents to stay outside buildings and their houses to ensure their safety. One of the residents who was sleeping inside plastic bags is Arj De Real, who shared the photos with CDN Digital. She tells CDN Digital that the evacuation center was too far. She adds that there was a blackout when the quake occurred and that they plan to stay in the mountain to be safe from a possible tsunami. She says residents from those affected by the strong earthquake in northern Cebu are appealing for urgent help, noting they need water, ready-to-eat food, and tents. She adds that while her home was only partially damaged, many of her neighbors completely lost their homes after the strong tremor. At least 72 people have reportedly died due to the quake as of Thursday, October 2. The tremor has affected at least 170,000 individuals in Central Visayas, according to the NDRRMC. The INQUIRER Foundation is holding a relief and fund drive for the families affected by the recent earthquake. Cash donations may be deposited to the INQUIRER Foundation Corporation BDO account. The public may also donate any amount to the Philippine Daily Inquirer via GCash Pay bills and indicate that the payment is for Cebu earthquake victims. The Sandiganbayan rejects the plea of Senator Jinggoy Estrada to dismiss his remaining graft charges for lack of merit. In a 22-page resolution dated October 1, the Anti-Graft Court Special Fifth Division says there was no cogent reason to reverse its earlier resolution that denied Estrada's plea for a demurrer to evidence. If it had been granted, the plea would have ultimately dismissed his remaining graft charges involving the alleged misuse of his Priority Development Assistance Fund or PDAF amounting to more than 200 million pesos. The funds were allegedly diverted to fictitious livelihood projects that were endorsed to non-government organizations allegedly owned by businesswoman Janet Lim Napoles. Napoles has had numerous convictions over the supposed misuse of the pork barrel funds. In his motion for reconsideration cited by the court, Estrada argued that there should not be any prosecution for graft, since there was already a prosecution against him for plunder from the same set of facts and the same set of transactions. His motion also took note of the similarity between the two sets of indictments, wherein the prosecution in both cases supposedly presented the same set of exhibits and witness testimonies to prove the same theory, albeit to prosecute separate sets of crimes. But the court rejects his arguments, saying there was nothing in the rules of court or the laws allegedly violated, that there was a directive to dismiss a separate graft case on account of the charge being a predicate act in a prior case for plunder. According to the resolution, the only reason to sustain such an argument would be if it places the accused in double jeopardy, which the court says is not the case.